Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is why we need to use ast.literal underscore eval function while using widgets in Databricks. So Databricks widgets return only strings, but you may need the value as either list, tuple, dictionary, or number. So that means this is the widget. So whenever you pass the different Python objects like list, tuple, dictionary, and number, your output will get in the form of string type. But you want as your natural format. Suppose if you're passing list here and your output also should get as list, then we have to use this function ast.literal underscore eval. So generally we can use two functions. One is json.loads or this one ast.literal underscore eval. But each function, it has their own strengths. So I already made one video on how to use json.loads. So while using widgets, so for same purpose. So this video I am dedicated to ast.literal underscore eval, and we'll see the difference between JSON underscore loads in this video. So literal underscore eval safely transforms the string into actual Python data type. That means if you're passing list here, if you use this function, then your widget output also will be list. If you're passing tuple, then you will get tuple. If you're passing dictionary, you will get as dictionary data type. If you're passing integer, then you will get integer. Suppose if you're not using this option, this function, if you pass either of these Python objects, you will get as string only. By default, string. Now we'll see few limitations of this AST underscore literal. So this function accepts single quotes. So single quotes means suppose if you see here, this is one string, or you can see here this example. Here I'm passing list of elements. But if you see inside each element, it is with single quoted. So that is the meaning of this one single quotes. So it accepts single quoted list of elements or this a dictionary tuple. So whatever you are passing. But if you see in case of json.loads, it don't accept single quoted elements. So it strictly follows the JSON object format. So that means JSON, it follows double quotes. So next Python style list, tuple and dictionary. So what are we discussed here? So these are the Python objects. So it accepts all these things. And one more thing, Python booleans, true or false. And if you see here, true or false. So first letter is capital. So it accepts this kind of format. But in case of json.loads, if you give same this value, that means first and starting value with capital letter, it won't accept. So if you pass all in lowercase, that means true or false. If you pass only in lowercase, it accepts json.loads, it accepts. Otherwise, it won't accept. So, but does not accept strict JSON format only. So that means JSON load it dedicated to strict JSON format, but literal function, that means literal underscore eval function, it is not strict about JSON file. And it accepts trailing commas also. Trailing commas means somewhere I will show you this. Suppose you have elements like this. One is A1, A2, and if you have comma here, then that will call as trailing commas. So in case of JSON.loads, it won't accept trailing commas, but ASN literal underscore eval, it accepts even trailing commas also. So now we'll see some examples. Suppose in this area, that means widget value. Suppose if you are passing this list of elements with single quoted, so it accepts and it will give you output as this one. So widget output is a string, and after using this function, we'll get as this one list of elements. And similar way here. So this also Python list. So output will be same. And this is a dictionary. So you will get dictionary. And if you pass tuple, you will get tuple. And here I'm passing true. So that is capital T, you will get true. And if you are passing false, you will get false. So these are the some standard, that means Python objects, different formats you can pass as widgets. So next is we'll see the difference between json.loads and ast.literal underscore eval function. So which function accepts. Suppose if you see scenario like accepts single quotes. So single quotes means this one. So list of elements, the elements is with a single quote. So if you have input like that, then json.loads it won't accept. So but this one, this function accepts. And one more is a trailing commas. So trailing commas means suppose here after A102, if you have comma, that will call as trailing comma. So json.loads it won't accept, but this function allows. And similar way, Boolean values either true or false. So first letter is capital. In that case, json.loads it won't accept, but this function allows. And accepts JSON only. So that means strict JSON means suppose this list of element is there. So when we'll call this is strict JSON is, so whatever this list elements should be with double quoted, double quoted. So those things will call as strict JSON. So in that case, JSON.loads it accepts, and here it won't accept. So that means only Python objects only. And when we'll use this one is, so suppose if you're passing elements here and this value you want to pass to further in your notebook to do on top of that some other operations, maybe transformation. So before passing there, you want to evaluate the things. So that means whatever output you are getting from widget value, whether it is in proper data type or not. So next we'll see when should we use which one. So literal underscore eval is more flexible and parses Python syntax. JSON.loads is strict and parses only JSON syntax. So this is main difference. And next one is suppose if you see use case, widget value is Python like object. So that means single quotes, tuples, dictionary. So if you have like this, single quotes means this one. So if you have like this single quotes and tuples dictionary, then the recommended method is this one. So widget value is a true JSON. So that means double quotes strictly formatted. So double quotes means this one. So here these elements instead of single quote, if you have double quote, then it is recommended to use json.loads. Suppose whatever you are passing Python object here, you want to do strict evaluation, then use json.loads. So if you want to have some flexibility, then you use this one because it allows few things like single quotes it accepts, trailing commas it accepts, and Boolean lower cases, capital letters it will accept. So whenever you want that kind of flexibility, then you use this function. So next, one more example. Suppose I have widget value as list of elements, that is A1 and A2, and these elements are with single quoted. So for this particular example, ast.literal underscore eval it works, but json.loads, it won't have allows. It will throw you error because JSON does not allow single quotes. And if you see here list of elements with double quotes. So here both will work. So since we have strict JSON that is with the double quotes, JSON.loads also works. So mainly JSON.loads it will work, and this function also it will work. And next scenario is accepts single quotes. So if you're passing single quotes and if you use this function json.loads, it will fail. And if you use this particular function, it works. So now we'll jump onto examples for this first scenario. So we'll see here both the scenarios. That means for this particular scenario, that means single quotes. I will explain with both the functions. Okay, so which one will throw error, which one accepts. So for using this literal underscore eval, first we need to import AST. And for using JSON.loads, first you need to import JSON. And first what I'm doing, so I have already created one widget. So I want to remove that. So for that, what I can do, since I have single one, I can go here and you can click on this remove parameter or otherwise. So currently I used skip. So what I'll do, first I will do unskip this one. So first I will do unskip this one, then I will run this one. If I run this one, this widget will go off. So once the widget is cleared, now again I will do skip cell. So again I will click on skip cell. Okay. So now my first example with json.loads. That means single quoted objects. So here I have JSON. Sorry, I have dictionary. So dictionary I have two key value pairs. So this is my first key value pair and this is my second key value pair and all the values with single quotes. So here, if I use json.loads, and inside that I'm passing this dictionary that is with single quotes. So if I run this, it will throw you error. So expecting property name enclosed in double quotes. Why? Because json.loads it expects double quotes here. And same thing, we'll see one more example here. So here I have, so here what I did, I directly used Python code here, like json.loads directly used. That means without widget. So here what I'm doing, here I'm creating widget here. So for that dbutils.widgets.text. So here I'm creating text widget type. So my widget name is this one and alias is this one and my widget text is empty string now. So initially empty string and later I will pass manually here. So this line of code, first it will create the widget. Then once I pass this widget value, then what it does is how we can call that widget value is by using dbutils widgets.get method. So get method, I'm calling this my parameter here. So if I use this one, so whatever I passed this widget value, I will get out. So I stored under variable source underscore column. If I try to print this one, I will get that particular widget. And if you want to check the type, you can check here, print type of this source column. So what I will do, first I will run this one. As soon as I run, the widget will get created here by source underscore call name. But if you see here, here it is empty string because here I passed as empty string. And since we don't have widget value here, so since I used to get method here, since we don't have any value there, it's throwing error here. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm passing this variable. So I have two values here. One is with double quotes, one is with single quote. So since I'm using json.loads, I'm trying with both the formats. So first I'm trying with single quote. So here I'm pasting here. And if I click here, if I click on this cell, so automatically it will run and it's throwing error. So why it throwing? Because I used here json.loads. So generally, if you have any string value or integer value, so you can directly use only this function dbutils.widgets.get. So only this much is enough. So whenever you have uh, inputs your widget value like these Python objects, like a list, tuple, dictionary, Boolean values. So these kind of formats we have to use this one, either json.loads or ast.little function. But again, depends on which one to use, json.loads or ast.literal value. So that depends on your input, will decide. So here what I'm trying, json.loads, json.loads, and inside that I'm passing. So that means dbutils.widgets.get method source underscore call. So that means this whole value will get output by using this get method. But how will get output? As string type. String of list will get. So string of list will get. Here what we are trying to do, that string we want to convert it to list type. For that, what we are using here is json.loads. By using, after using this one, we are getting error. Why we are getting error? Since this value, widget value is not satisfying as per JSON, this one, JSON format. Why? Because single quotes are there. Now what I'm doing, I am passing double quotes, this one, list of elements, double quotes. So here I will replace with this one. And if I click here, so my output, I will get my output. Why? Because json.loads accepts so strict JSON. So that means with double quotes. So here I'm printing this one. So I'm getting this, whatever I'm passing, no list of elements, we are getting same output. But even though if you pass double quotes as inputs, you will get output as in single quote. And parallelly, I want to show the type also here. So whenever you pass this one here, that input is string value. And once you apply this function, your output will change to list type. So now we saw about json.loads. Now we'll see about by using literal underscore eval. So here what I'm doing, first I'm trying with the Python function. So here what I'm doing, ast dot literal underscore eval source underscore call. So here what is source underscore call? That is my dictionary. But if you see dictionary, I have it single quote. So ast underscore literal, it allows even though we have single quotes. See here, we are getting output. So print result means this one. This result is this one. This dictionary of key value pairs. And since I given type of source call, so that means my initial input source call is string. And after applying this one, that result, after applying this function, my output is dictionary. So that means it converting string to dictionary. That means finally we are getting our native Python object format. So this is about Python. So now we'll see about widget. So this is same dbutils.widgets.text, and this is source underscore call. And here what I'm doing, instead of json.loads, I'm using this function ast.literal underscore eval. So this get method is same. So since same names are there, I will remove this one. And if I try to run this one, it will create again widget. And since I'm not paused text, since I'm not paused widget value, it's throwing error. So what I will do, I will pass either this dictionary or that list. So I will pass this one. And if I try to click on this, now you will get the output. What we are getting error. Where I'm clicking somewhere else. Okay, so here supposed to click. So ast.literal underscore eval. So here whatever I pass to dictionary, I'm getting here output and the type is dictionary. So this data type is dictionary. So this is about first, in first scenario, I shown by using both the functions. And the second scenario is it accepts trailing commas. So for trailing commas, what is the thing? JSON dot loads. It won't accept, it fails. But AST and dot literal underscore eval, it works. So first I'm trying with the JSON dot loads option. So initially with the Python command. So source underscore call. So I'm passing dictionary here. So here I'm passing with double quotes, and here what I'm doing JSON dot loads. And if I try to run this one, what it throwing is expecting property name enclosed in double quotes. So that means you see here we have one comma, extra comma is there. So this will call as trailing comma. So JSON dot loads, it won't accept trailing commas. So that's why it's throwing the error. So now same thing I will try to do with uh, by creating widget. So first I'm creating the widget source underscore call, and here I'm using JSON.loads. And for this, what I'll pass here is I'll pass same dictionary. This dictionary I'll pass there. So instead of this, I'm passing here. And if I try to click here, it will throw you error. Selecting it, clicking somewhere. Okay. So this is the correct one. Okay, so it's throwing the error. So expecting property name enclosed in double quotes. Suppose in case if you remove this comma, then it will work. If you click here, it will work. See here, if you keep trailing comma, it won't accept. It will fail. Okay, so next, for same example, I'm using ast dot literal underscore eval function. So first I'm trying with Python code. So my input is same with the trailing comma, and instead of JSON dot loads, I'm using this one, ast dot literal underscore eval source code. So since this function accepts, and we'll get the output here. So what I'll do, I'll try to print type also here. Okay, so type I'm getting dictionary because I'm passing dictionary. So even though trailing comma is there, see it removing the trailing comma, and we are getting output a dictionary. So same thing I'm trying with widget. So same thing I'm trying with widget here. Widget is where ast.literal. This is first Python. Now this is widget. So same output. If I, that means same input. If I click here with the trailing comma, so here we are getting output here. So this comma is removed here, but I'm getting output with the dictionary data type. So next third scenario is Boolean types. So JSON.loads, it will fail. So whenever you give first and first letters as capital, but AST function, it will works. So first we'll see with the JSON.loads. So JSON expects, so whenever you define JSON format, so JSON expects in lowercase. So whenever you pass in Boolean types, you need to pass as lowercase. But here what I'm doing, I'm passing one dictionary and I'm passing as capital T here. So here I'm using JSON.loads, and if I run this one, it will fail. So expecting value line 1. So same thing I'm creating with a dictionary now. Oh, sorry, widget now. So source underscore call, and here what I'll do, same thing. I'll copy. Here I'll replace. And if I click here, uh, which one run now? So 22. If I run now, so it will, here I'm using JSON.loads and it will fail. Okay, so JSON.load, it will fail because this Boolean value, first letter capital is set. And same thing I'm trying with AST underscore literal value. So first with the Python, so here capital T is there. If I try to run this one, what I'll do, I'll print type also. If I run this one, we will get the output. So here we are getting the output. So same capital T. And if you see your dictionary, means the data type is dictionary. And same thing I'm trying with widget. Same thing I'm trying with widget. So this is my input widget value. If I click on this, I will get this one output. Okay, so now this scenario is this scenario also over. Next we'll move on to next scenario. So accepts only JSON formats. So JSON.loads, it accepts only strict JSON. So AST.literal underscore eval, it is not limited to JSON. So here what I'm doing, first Python option. So here I'm passing one dictionary with key value. And if you see here, this is exactly JSON format. Why? Because here we have double quotes, key value. So it is exactly matching JSON format. So that's why it accepting this one JSON.loads function. And same thing I'll try with widget. Same thing if I try with widget, I'm passing the widget value source call. And if I try to run this one, so you will get output, whatever we are passing here, and this type is dictionary. So next, same thing I'm trying with tuple with AST dot literal eval. So here I'm passing tuple. So tuple of 1, 2, 3. So tuple of 1, 2, 3. And here I'm using AST dot literal underscore eval. So you will get same output as tuple 1, 2, 3. And I will try to print type also. Okay. So my input is so since I'm printing print type of data, so that means my input is a string. But if I try to print this one also, So this will get tuple. See here, so initially it is string, then it converted to tuple. So next, same thing I'm trying with the tuple. So here I will replace with the tuple. So 1, comma 2, comma 3. And if I click here, so if I click here, you will get out. So 1, 2, 3, and data type is tuple. Next, we'll go to use case. So we'll see how real-time use case will do. So here I have two parameters. So these are the parameters I'm going to try here. So my first parameter is list of elements, and second is this also. One is a list of elements, and one more is dictionary, and one more is a list of elements. So these three things we'll try here. So here what I'm doing, I'm creating three widgets here first initially. If you see real time now, so they will create like these widgets continuously by using text type. So here I created only three types, but real time it will be more, maybe 10, 15, 20 like that. So first by using text method, I'm creating the widgets. And after that, by using get method, I'm calling those widget values. And for all three, I used ast dot literal underscore eval function. And then each this parameter I'm printing here, each parameter and their respective data type. So first, what I'm doing, my first widget is input underscore call. So here what I'll do, I'll try to remove this one and I'll try to generate this one. If I click on this, now it will get create three new widgets here. So one is input underscore call, one more is target underscore quotes, and one more is upset underscore call. So since we are not passing values here, it throwing you error. So now what I will do, our first input, our first widget is input underscore call. So for input underscore call, first I'm trying with this list. So I'll paste here, and if I try to click here, so still it will throw error because we need to pass remaining two also. So targets underscore codes, I'm passing this list, and similar way upside underscore calls, I'm passing this list. Now if you click here, you will get the output and their relevant data types. See first for my first thing is one is upset underscore call. So this one I'm printing here. So this output and a data type. So upset underscore call, what I passed here, this one. So list of elements. So that I'm getting here, and my output is list. Since I used this function, I'm getting list. Otherwise, I will get it as string type. And next is input underscore call. So input underscore call, that is here I have list of elements. So I'm getting this list of elements and my output is list. And similar way target underscore quotes. So target underscore quotes is this is a list of elements. So I'm getting here list of elements and my type is list. So in case if I try to replace my input calls with the dictionary, so input calls, and if I try to click here, now our output will get changed. So expected uh, after dictionary key. I think something wrong here. So each salary, city, state, country, gender, marital status. Okay. So marital status is the extra. That means we have key, but we don't have value. So what I'll do, I will enter the value also. So marital status is married. Okay. So now if I click here, I'll get out. So here now earlier I given list. Now uh, now I passed dictionary here. So I'm getting my data type as dictionary. So I will update here also. Okay. So this how it will convert, and here I tried with AST dot literal underscore level. Now I will try with JSON dot loads. So same command, uh, instead of AST underscore literal, I'm using JSON dot loads. If I try to run this one, so expecting property name enclosed in double quotes. So that means first one input columns. So whatever I passed here dictionary, that is with single quotes. If you see here, these are all with single quotes. So that's why it is failing. Suppose you can change this one also to double quote. Otherwise, I'll change this only double quotes. Or otherwise, you can pass the list. So because we have already a list with the double quotes. So I'll change this one. I'll replace remaining also. So we left with one more. Okay, so now I'll pass this one dictionary with double quotes. If I click here, now we'll get output. See here, now we are getting output dictionary. So even though we passed JSON.loads. So same thing you can try with the list also, because list already has with the double quotes, so it will accept. And remaining it's already double quotes. So JSON.loads, it accepts strict JSON. And second use case is here I'm creating new widget, that is a list underscore ordered underscore CLMS. So here I'm not using either of the function, either JSON.loads or literal value. So here what I'm doing, I'm creating one widget. So that is, I'll try to run this one. So here it will create one more widget here. So initially I give an empty string. No, see here currently it is empty string. And if you see your output, see you are getting empty string. You are getting empty string and your data type is string. Suppose I will pass some name here. and I will give some space. And if I click here, see my widget value is this one, whatever I'm passing, and data type is string. So here I'm not used any of the function. So next what I'm doing, same widget, same function. So first I'm typing the value. That means first I'm printing the value, then I'm printing the data type of the uh, widget value. Later, I given try and except conditions. In try condition, I given if else condition. So here, what I given if widget underscore value. So that means if this value is available, then it will go to if condition. If here value is not available, then it will go to else condition. If both are not there, then it will go to except condition. So we'll see different examples here, how it will work. So if it is if condition, what it's doing is it will go inside, and here I'm using ast.literal underscore eval function on this widget value. And I'm printing that particular widget value and that relevant data type. And similar way, if this is not satisfying, it will come to else condition. So here it will print empty string, so that it will print here, and that data type it will print here. And if both are not satisfying, then it will come to, it will throw exception, like it is empty string and that value and that data type. So here, since I used and entered this one, so what it doing? First, it printing this one, whatever entered, printing here, that is here widget value, because I'm not used any of the function here. My widget value is printing, and this relevant, this data type is this one string. So next what it doing, once my widget value is available, then it will go this if condition. So since this widget value is available here, it will go inside if condition. So by using this ast dot literal value, this function, it will apply on this widget value. So for identification, for if condition, I given if, for else condition, I given else. So since we are getting if miss, so it going to if condition and it printing Sundar. So that means this widget value is printing and this data type is string. So next, so this ast dot literal underscore eval, what it does is it will ignore the white spaces. So it will ignore the white spaces. So that means if we have like these spaces before trailing and if you have both starting and ending, it will ignore those white spaces. So next I have same piece of code. So only difference is here I given widget value dot strip. So strip, what it does is if you have your trailing and these spaces, it will remove this function. This strip function, it will remove these spaces. So first, what I'm giving, so for same condition, we'll get same one. Why? Because since widget value is there, it will it will go to if condition and it will go to strip and it will go to this function ast.literal value and you will get same output here. And here we'll see some scenarios like when it will go to if condition and when it will go to else condition and when it will go to exception condition. So first we have if condition. So widget inputs. So widget inputs that go to if condition. So that means if condition is if widget value dot string. So the input must be non-empty after removing spaces. So that means after applying this strip function, it will remove the spaces. After removing spaces, your output should be non-empty. So that means uh, except empty strings, empty list, this kind of things. So our first example is Suresh space. So that means like this, Sundar space. Now what will happen after strip? So that means here Suresh is there. That means you have widget value. So that means it will go to if condition. In if condition, what we have widget value dot strip. So this strip, what it does is this strip, whatever here space is there, that it will remove. So that means now our output is Suresh here. So that means this is a non-empty value. So that means which is non-empty value. So it enters if block. So here you will get only Suresh. That means without space. So that it will go to this block. So now our widget value is Suresh. So this case Sundar. So here we are using this function. So we will get same name here and output as string. So next example is if I pass this list of if I pass this list of elements with double quotes, what I'll do, I will enter here and I will try to run this one. So what we are getting? First, I'm getting this list as it is and type is a string. That means initially I'm not applied any of the function. So we'll get same list of elements and that type is string type. Next, what we're doing is this list, it will go to this if condition. So here we'll see what will happen. Since it is valid list, that means here we don't have any spaces or things. So it will directly go to here. So here what is there? Our widget value is a list of elements. So ast dot literal underscore eval, what it does is this list of elements, it will convert to this one. Same list only, but earlier it is string, it will convert from string to list. So since it is going to if condition, it coming here if. So next one is a list of elements and with with leading and trailing spaces. So strip, what it does is it removes spaces. After removing spaces also, this is non-empty value. So since it is non-empty value, it will go to if condition. So if you see here, this is trailing and leading spaces. See here, before and after list, we have trailing spaces. So if I click here, see here, our input has trailing spaces, no, trailing and what we'll call trailing, leading or trailing spaces. So initially, starting and ending, we have spaces. So we are getting data type as string, and after applying, so that means since we have widget value, it will go to if condition, and in if condition we have strip. So that means it will remove this leading and trailing spaces. So after removing that, we'll be having list of elements. So that it will go here. So this function, it will convert to this one list. Okay. So next, empty list. So if I pass empty list here, this empty list dot strip. So dot strip, what will happen? We will get empty list only. So that means it will go to this condition. So what I will do, I will remove this and I will enter only empty list. See here, my initial input is empty list and that is a string type. Since that is, even though this is empty list, that is since that is value, that means non-empty value, it will go to this condition. So it will go to here strip now. So where is strip? So it will go to this condition So here it will convert to list type. So next is empty string. So what I will do, I will give only empty string. If I click on this, see here, initially input is empty string, that is a string type, and this empty string will go to if condition. Since we don't have any strip, it will go here, ast.literal_level, this empty string, you will get output. So here in empty string, and data type is string. And next is we are passing a nested list. Suppose if you pass a nested list, string. Okay, so nested list, we are getting nested list, and initially it will be string type, and after applying this function, it will convert to list type. So next, numbers list. So numbers list means this one. So numbers list also will be same, no need to check again. And tuples we not check, we'll check this one, tuples. If I click here, so initially it will be as string, then it will convert to tuple. And similar way dictionary also, and similar way boolean also. So you can check all these things by entering value here. So these are all the input parameters. It will go to if condition. So next we'll go to conditions which you go to else condition. So first condition is completely empty. So that means I will remove entire thing. Now nothing is there. Now if I click here strip, so we don't have anything here, empty. So initially it will be string type. So we'll get output as a list, empty list. So why we are getting empty list is since we don't have widget value here. So since this condition is not satisfying, it will go to else condition. In else condition, what we have? Empty list. And what is the data type? List. And next, only spaces. So only spaces means here I'll give double quote, space, double quote. So now we'll see what we'll get. See here, since I entered this one, so this is the string and it going to string. So it going to if condition and it is a string, but our actual condition is only spaces. And after strip, so after strip, you should go to else condition. So I think this is not single quote, this is space. Space means you have to click on space bar. In keyboard, you have to click on space bar, then you have to click here. So for space, since we don't have widget value, it will go to else condition. So it will print empty list. And similar way, that explanation also given here. If you print, and this is actually empty space. So only spaces. So for representation, I given double quote, but actually that is not double quote. So only space you need to enter. And one more is a tab. So here, what I'm doing in your keyboard, you can click on tab button. If I click on tab button, so immediately it will run here. So immediately it will run here. Since your widget value is null, empty, so you will get list. That means it will go to else condition. here, else we are getting. And new line characters. So if you enter new line characters here, so this will also go to else condition. Next one is exception condition. So exception condition is this one. So when it will come to this exception condition. So for this example is this one slash n. So here what I will do slash n, and if I click here, I will get exception. See here, my input is this one backslash n, and input type is string, and it is going to exception. So here I given to identify exception I given here, and what is the default condition? Empty list. So since it is empty list, we'll get data type as list. Okay, so like this, you can use the widgets by using this literal function. So that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.